Hey, what's up, YouTube? Trug here. Sorry I've been absent for a while. I've been busy getting tattoos and stuff. But tonight I want to talk about depression. And depression is, it's largely misunderstood by people. It's kind of one of those things you really have to suffer from it or have suffered from it to understand it. People think that I've heard people say, they just want to be unhappy. They're emo. They love drama. They just need to snap out of it. They need to look at the bright side of things. They're a pessimist. They're whatever else. And I'm a pretty dark person to begin with. I'm like fascinated with like death and stuff like that. But that has nothing to do with depression. I suffered from depression probably. I've had quite a few bouts with it. The longest one lasted probably about a year and a half. And, depression, it's more than just. People think it's just depression. Oh, well, you just feel sad. You're down in the dumps. Like when something bad happens, you feel bad for a couple days or a week or two. Somebody you love dies, or a relationship ends, something like that. Sure, you feel crappy for a week or two, but then you pick yourself up and move on. But with depression, you just can't do that. It doesn't. There's no real. It's hard to describe because it is such a shitty feeling that it's just. To do anything is just such a task. Like I said, I went through probably about a year and a half, I'd say it was, where I was, pretty depressed. I was never really suicidal. Fortunately, I don't really get suicidal. I don't know. I don't know why. It must just be my physiology, but I've never been like to the point where I'm gonna, I was like, oh God, I gotta blow my head off. I think just because of, I know that would do what that would do to the people that, to my family and stuff like this, especially my brother. And even though, like I say, I am like I said in my past videos, I am diagnosed with antisocial personality disorder, which means I don't really feel remorse or guilt or empathy or anything like that. I wouldn't want to put my brother through what I can imagine that would put him through. So I've never, suicide has never really been a option for me. But depression, again, it's like, I've seen it referred to on some message boards on the internet. Basically it's like you're like whale shit at the bottom of the ocean. That's how you feel. It's people think you just get up and move, carry on through it. It'll get better. But it doesn't. That's the thing with depression. Sadness and stuff like that. Like I said, it goes away. You can work through it. Depression, it's debilitating. You just can't get out of bed. All you want to do is sleep. You don't want to eat. You don't want to take care of yourself. Hygiene wise or anything like that. You just want to be left alone in a dark room to just wallow in shit. And then it just kind of, the whole thing, it just spirals to get worse and worse, because you're like your own worst enemy. And, you just, like I say, you just wallow in it, and it just, it just gets worse and worse. So it's like, I can understand how people do get suicidal. Because like I said, I was at a point where I pretty much thought, is this ever gonna end? Am I ever gonna be like this forever? Like a damned, this eternal existence. But fortunately, like I say, I didn't do anything stupid or rash or irrational. When I was depressed, basically what I did is I stayed in bed for pretty much a year and a half. I didn't work. I didn't play video games. Didn't do anything. And when you're in depression, you're at a point where the things that usually, give you joy and happiness that you enjoy doing are just, they're totally, you get nothing from them. You don't care about them, you don't want to do them. Like myself, I'm a big video gamer. That's my thing. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. And, during that stage of my life, video games, computers, electronics in general was my thing, you could say, and none of it was, there's a term for it, I forget what it is, where you get no, no joy or satisfaction out of anything. And, that's basically how you feel. You just feel as bad as you can imagine, and there's no pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and, holding your head up and carrying on, it's not an option. You just feel that bad. It really knocks the shit out of you, and like I said, I can see how people can get suicidal, because you think there's no other way out, it's so bad that you just want it to end. You see no reason to carry on. And it's sad that it's really misunderstood, and people think that, like people who suffer from, major depressive disorder, who go on disability and stuff like that, people are like, oh, you're a faker, you're just trying to mooch free money and stuff like that. But, what people don't understand is when you're in that state where that depression hits, things like work and stuff like that aren't possible. You just cannot do it. It's not a choice. Even it's not. You don't choose not to do it. You're just incapable of doing it. It's like I said, it's a sad thing that it's misunderstood, and a lot of people don't treat it as seriously as it should be. In recent time, it's been starting to get a lot more attention, and people are starting to see it more for what it is. But in the past, like 10 years ago, even if you look back to like the early 2000s or the late 90s, mid 90s probably, when all of a sudden, bipolar disorder was the in vogue condition to have. They changed it from manic depressive disorder to bipolar disorder, and all of a sudden everybody that was, a little nutty was diagnosed with bipolar disorder and put on lithium, and everybody was happy-go-lucky, joy, antidepressants and lithium, Prozac and lithium, and you were good to go, and now in 2016, there's a lot more awareness. I still think we have a long way to go because, there are a lot of stigmas still that go with mental illness. Depression especially. People think, you're just too sensitive or you overreact and things like that, and you don't, it's out of your control, and it's sad, it's very painful. And like I say, you have to live it to understand it. To fully understand it and have a cognitive idea of what it's like, you actually have to live it. You can't really put it into words. The feeling that, just how you feel when you're in a major depressive state. Fortunately, I'm lucky, I can't take normal, quote unquote common antidepressants like Prozac or Celexa or Lexapro or any of those because they throw me manic. And I am lucky because I do take mirtazapine or Remron as the brand it's called. The brand name is Remron, and that's worked great for me since I've taken it. I've had no depression. Not even little swings or anything like that. It keeps me nice and stable. I take a big dose of Seroquel every day as well, so I don't take a mood stabilizer. The Seroquel in large doses acts as a mood stabilizer, so I don't need to take any of those. I used to take lamotrigine, but then when we increased the antipsychotic dosages, we cut out the lamotrigine because my psychiatrist said it really wasn't doing anything. So it was good to get off at least one drug. But yeah, to finish up here, like I said, depression. People who suffer from them, man, just don't mock them or make fun of them or think they're weak or think they're just sensitive or emo or something like that, because it's a hell you wouldn't want to have to live through, Look at them and be thankful you don't have to live through that because it's shit, man. Let me tell you, speaking from firsthand experience. All right, well, that's about it, I think, for depression for now. Really cold here in Connecticut, man. Like record low temperatures the next couple of days. Figures I'm gonna have to go get a tattoo down on my forearm tomorrow, and it's gonna be like friggin' 17 below zero or something tomorrow night. So, can't wait for that. Anyway, hopefully I'll make some more videos here over the next couple of days. I have some stuff I want to talk about and get off my chest. So, hopefully I will talk to you all soon. Remember, if anything you have any input or anything to say, feel free to throw it in the comments section. Like and subscribe to the video if you would, if you like it. Again, try and keep the comments section constructive. Nobody likes a jerk. Again, thanks for your interest, and I will talk to you all soon. Alrighty, shrug out.